Me on? Okay, good. Hi, I am Anne, and this is my second time trying to create a video using my iPhone, so please excuse the amateur quality and my technical difficulties. The first video I made was in response to the most recent sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. And over the last 2 or 3 days, I've been finding myself getting emotionally upset repeatedly and triggered. So instead of commenting on social media, I decided to create a video because you can disseminate a lot more information using this format. So the first video was too long to post on YouTube, so I'm going to try to keep this video very short, under 10 minutes or less, and then perhaps redo. I don't know how to edit the first video, so I might just try to redo it in segments. So this might seem a little out of context or out of sequence, what I'm going to talk about, but I'll work on the first video, like I said. So I'm a mental health clinician and an addiction specialist, and I'm also a sexual assault and misconduct survivor. And I am sharing my voice for all survivors, both men and women. I'm creating videos, like I said, as a way to disseminate important information, not just my opinion or my personal experiences, but important information that it's highly controversial, but it's also very important given the severity of and the frequency with which sexual assault and misconduct occurs. My inspiration for creating these videos comes from a number of sources. The most recent, as I said, is the allegations brought against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh, as well as those brought against Donald Trump, plus a whole slew of other public figures, some of whom I adore and admire. Harvey Weinstein, I don't adore and admire. Jeff Fager of CBS News, Gerard Depardieu, French actor, Morgan Freeman, Junot Diaz, Pulitzer Prize winner, Kevin Spacey, Bill Cosby, Geraldo Rivera, Charlie Rose of CBS News, Dustin Hoffman, Louis C.K., who is one of my favorite comedians. These men are public figures whose lives are in the spotlight. They are in the media. However, sexual misconduct isn't exclusive or confined to just the rich and powerful and famous. It permeates all levels of society, and it's referred to as a part of toxic masculinity. In addition to sexism and misogyny, toxic masculinity, quote unquote, legitimizes men's dominant positions in society and justifies the subordination of women, including sexual subordination. So to illustrate this concept of toxic masculinity and how it involves sexual misconduct, I've been brainstorming behaviors and attitudes that I've experienced from men throughout my life, as well as experiences that I've heard others talk about. And these experiences aren't unique to me or just a handful of people. They're unique to all women. All women have experienced these things on some level or another. So in order to keep this video short, I'll only address a couple of things at a time. Without further ado, I would like to use online dating sites and apps as an example. One thing that I notice over and over again in profiles is that I don't look at women's profiles, I just look at heterosexual men's profiles, so that's the context. I see repeatedly, I'm not interested in endless texting, let's just meet. And if they don't explicitly say that in their profile, it comes out very quickly when you start to engage in dialogue. And I've had things said to me like, let's just cut to the chase and have this conversation in person. And while I can appreciate people don't want to engage in a lot of endless texting, I would also like men to understand that women have to be more cautious about meeting strangers. And so when someone says something like that to me or approaches me like that, to me it's a sign that they're unaware, they're not aware of what it's like to be sexually assaulted or harassed, and they're not empathetic whatsoever to the other person's needs or how they want to approach the situation. Men have to understand that women have more safety issues to consider than they do. And so some banter, not endless texting, but some banter is absolutely necessary to gain a sense of whether this person is safe. First and foremost, is this person safe? And then, of course, is it worth my time and effort and energy and emotion to go and engage with this person in public? So if someone refuses to banter and jumps straight to let's meet, then I unmatch them now. I didn't used to, but like when I've tried to broach the subject and have a dialogue about why I don't want to meet like straight away, it just goes sideways pretty fast. So I just, as a rule of thumb now, I will unmatch someone if that's their approach towards me. And it indicates that their preferences are more important than mine. We're not approaching this equally or fairly. This is what I want, so if you don't want to do it my way, then see you later. Another thing, I found this meme on Instagram. I'll just show it really quick if I can. You can see this. And it makes me laugh because, you know, John Hamm as Don Draper in Mad Men doing an advertising presentation, really basic, presenting a really basic concept, like women, online dating sites and apps are portals to free sex. And I can't tell you how often I come across that attitude. And when someone pressures me to try to meet them quickly or to engage physically or sexually, it ruins it. And it's so frustrating and upsetting. I just want men to understand that that's what it's like for a lot of women. And also to understand that you're not entitled to sexual or physical intimacy, especially without putting forth any effort to get to know the person. You can't expect something for nothing. So I'm running out of time on this video, to be continued. Thanks.